I hear the sounds of your heartbeat. I can hear it now. I can hear it now. I hear the sounds.
All right, you guys, this is Raw Detroit, and we're back with another video on today. Got to talk about the signing that the Lions had on today with Josh Reynolds. And what does this mean possibly for the Detroit Lions? Well, when I'm looking at it from this angle, it pretty much tells me that the Detroit Lions are committed to Jared Goff for this season. Now, I don't know as far as they're going to give him extension or anything like that. We don't know because his contract actually is, I believe, through 2024. So I believe next year they could, if they wanted to, they could cut ties with him and things of that nature. But I think that this is a year that they're going to give Jared Goff an opportunity to be the Lions starting quarterback going forth into the future. Now, I know a lot of us, some of us want to give Jared Goff an opportunity, and some of us are tired of Jared Goff already and say, hey, let's go on to greener pastures. Let's go ahead and find that quarterback. There's a lot of Lions fans that do not want a quarterback this season because they feel as though that next year would be a great opportunity for the Lions to be able to get a quarterback next year. And I can't say I disagree with it because, yes, it's true and all. A lot of quarterbacks are coming out next year. But at the same time, the Lions got some big decisions ahead of them. And those decisions are, what are they going to do with Tim Boyle? Are they going to bring him back? What are they going to do with David Blau? Or are they going to decide to bring him back to be the backup to Jared Goff still? Or will they take a free agent quarterback in the offseason, or will they draft a quarterback? So there's a lot of things on the table. You know, a lot of speculation. Will Malik Willis be the quarterback that the Detroit Lions fall in love with and give this guy an opportunity to sit behind Jared Goff? We don't know what's really going to happen. But what we do know today is that Josh Reynolds is back with the football team. So that definitely lets me know, and that indicates that the reason why he is back, because they're going to really sit down and evaluate Jared Goff. They're going to give him an opportunity. And that's the only reason why you bring back somebody that was a part of this team. Now, when he came on the team last season, the team did start flourishing and they started playing better. And Josh Reynolds did play some decent football. And you can't deny that Jared Goff did get better towards the end of the season. But do we think that, as Detroit Lions fans, that Jared Goff is the answer to getting the Lions into the playoffs and eventually winning a Super Bowl? You know, inquiring minds want to know, but we really don't know. And a lot of us would probably say, no, he is not the guy. And then some of us would say, hey, give him a fair shot. Give him the opportunity. This is the season in 2022 that he's going to really get evaluated, and we'll know whether or not in 2023, whether or not to take a quarterback. So the Lions got a lot of big future decisions ahead of them, and it's going to start with the draft. Now, there's a lot of things that a lot of talk and speculation that came out of the Senior Bowl that the Lions really love what Malik Willis was able to do. They loved his arm strength. They loved the way he was doing things and the way he followed their direction at the Senior Bowl. But at the same time, we don't really know as fans what the Lions are going to ultimately do, because they could opt to go the free agent quarterback route. There is a couple of free agent quarterbacks that you possibly could pick up that could back up Jared Goff. Guys like Tyrod Taylor. You got Mitchell Trubisky out there. You have Marcus Mariota. You have Ryan Fitzpatrick. So there's a couple quarterbacks that you could get to be able to solidify your backup quarterback position. But the only reason why Josh Reynolds was brought back into the city of Detroit was to simply play with Jared Goff. I don't think that there is any other reason why he's back on the roster. Now, with this signing of Josh Reynolds, what does this mean with the receiving room and with the receiving core in Detroit? Because you have Josh Reynolds back on the squad. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown on the team, and then you still have Cephas coming back from his injury. What does this mean for Khalif Raymond? Will he get this opportunity to sign back, or would the Lions just be happy with Josh Reynolds or would they decide to take another big name free agent wide receiver? Guys like Allen Robinson has been talked about. Guys like DJ Shark is out there. There's a lot of different wide receivers out there. Christian Kirk, but we don't know ultimately what route the Detroit Lions are going to go, because we know that this team needs a true #1 wide receiver. Now, the Lions in the draft, they could double up and get 2 wide receivers in the draft, and that would be definitely something nice because they need it. The Lions, let's just say it right now, the Lions need premium talent. If the Detroit Lions want to win football games and start to be a better organization, they're going to have to get the talent in here. Now, Josh Reynolds is a talented guy, but I don't think that he'll be able to do it alone. I don't think Amon-Ra St. Brown would be able to do it alone. I don't think that TJ Hawkinson would be able to do it alone. They're going to have to do this thing as a receiving group. They're definitely going to have to do that. And I definitely think that the #1 goal for the Detroit Lions is to eventually find a #1 wide receiver. Do I think that Josh Reynolds could be a #1 wide receiver? I'm going to say he's more like probably a #2 wide receiver, but he would probably be a #1 if the Detroit Lions don't pick up anybody else. He would be a #1 because he'll be the best receiver that they have pretty much outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown. But at the same time, they could decide to pick up, if a Drake London fell to him at 32, or if the kid from Alabama, Jameson Williams, or a Traylon Burke or whoever. We don't know if these guys are going to fall that far. But definitely, man, guys like Christian Watson, who I talked about and said that this dude was going to perform at a high level once he got to the combine. A lot of those small school guys play with chips on their shoulders because nobody expects them to go in and dominate. And if you check the history on a lot of guys from smaller schools, once they get to the NFL, man, they start balling, man. They start balling. And the proof is in the pudding. If you look at guys like Terrell Owens, came from a small school. You look at guys like Randy Moss. He didn't come from Alabama. He didn't come from Florida. He came from Marshall. You look at guys like Jerry Rice, came from Jackson State. Back in the days, I remember quarterback Steve McNair played for Alcorn State. So a lot of these small school kids, when they get into the league, they play with that chip on their shoulder. And I definitely think that Christian Watson is a guy that you could be looking out for to be a #1 receiver as well. And guys like George Pickens from Georgia, those are 2 guys definitely that I would definitely have my eyes on. But there are a lot of receivers in this draft. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Lions will ultimately do with free agency, because word out of town is that Detroit Lions are supposed to be looking at a big name wide receiver, but pretty much a lot of those guys have been taken off the board. Chris Godwin is going back to the Bucs on the tag. Adams is going back on the tag. Williams signed a 3-year deal, reportedly worth $60 million, something like that. So he's going back to the Chargers. So the only guy that's out there that's a big name is Allen Robinson. He's the only guy left. So this is going to be interesting to see what the Lions are going to do. Will they double up in the draft and get 2 receivers? I say that the Lions should get younger and get some young talent in here so these guys can be groomed and we can have young guys that we can develop at the wide receiver position. Now, ultimately, I don't know what the Lions are going to do as far as with the free agency go. Will they continue to target other guys at the wide receiver position? But what I do know is that it's going to be heavy competition this year in training camp. And that's what you want, because ultimately it's going to make a lot of these guys better. Competition makes you better. And these guys getting the chance to have that opportunity out there to showcase their stuff is going to be nice, man. And I can't wait to see it. I wonder who the Lions are going to take in the draft at wide receiver, because the Lions ultimately need a playmaker and an alpha dog on this team. The Lions don't have anybody that scare you on offense, or they don't have anybody that scare you on defense. This is the year, like I've been saying so many times, guys, this is the season where the Detroit Lions need to do their homework and they need to come out of this draft with impactful players, guys that they can start really, really counting on to be something in Detroit. We need those alpha dogs out there. We need those guys that's going to play relentless football and make a name in Detroit. That's what we want in 2022. All right, you guys. Peace.
I hear the sounds of your heartbeat. I can hear